I believe I can speak for most of Old Tappan's residents when I say that we are pleased with the quality and character of our town today. Like many other Northern Valley communities, we experience outside pressures that would have an impact on the growth and development of our town. We realize and accept the fact that growth and change is inevitable. However, by carefully planning and zoning and with the proper legislation, we can make these changes, improve Old Tappan. 1/3 of Old Tappan's land is owned by the Hackensack Water Company and therefore remains undeveloped. The remaining 2/3 is planned for single-family residential use and a small business and commercial area. This area provides many of the services that our residents require, including excellent medical, dental, banking, and educational facilities. In addition, there are several companies that provide employment opportunities for many, the largest of these being the book publishing company, Prentice Hall. Old Tappan today is unique. It is still considered a rural community with no traffic signals. It contains the elements of both a rural and a suburban area. Within our boundaries, there are still several farms, and there are more than 60 horses quartered within the borough. This blend of the past, combined with our modern, active population of 4,200 residents, gives Old Tappan its special character.
This special character is exemplified in one of Old Tappan's lifelong residents, Harriet Pearson. Rising at 5:30 each day to tend her farm, she displays an amount of energy and love to be envied by all.
Yes, I call it a farm of wealth because I'm never tired of it, and it's always a pleasure. It's an entirely different way of living, of course, but it's too bad more young people don't look in this direction, because there's always satisfaction. There's always something new coming up, but it's and never a problem that you can't solve. That's impossible to feel that way, right? And the animals, well, yes, we have 3 cows. We call one Clarabelle, Daisy, and Molly. And the little one is Emmy. And we have pigs, ducks, chickens, guinea hens. That's it. We name some of the ducks so they'll mind when I call them. Call one David, the other one Margaret, and John. And when you call them, they come to you.
Do you ever get tired of it?
Never, never. I could never say I'm tired. And that is the truth.
Not everyone in Old Tappan has their milk, butter, and eggs within reach of their back door. However, plans have been made to offer as much convenience as possible to the residents.
Old Tappan has been planned in such a way that all of our essential services are located in the geographic center of town. This is true not only for the business area, but for many municipal services as well, such as the fire department, the police department, and the first aid corps. This enables a rapid response to emergencies.
This simulated emergency illustrates the knowledge, skill, and immediacy that the citizens of Old Tappan depend on. In 1935, the Old Tappan Police Department began with the appointment of special officers who worked part-time. In 1941, they set up headquarters in the Borough Hall, and by 1961 began full-time operation in coordination with Rivervale's radio service. Under the authority of Police Chief John Kramer, specialized programs have been developed to provide further support to the community. Life-saving support has also been provided by the First Aid Corps. With the purchase of a new ambulance and modern support equipment, Old Tappan residents are assured of having the best possible facilities during critical moments. Equally important is the skilled performance of the volunteers, whose hours of dedication are rewarded with personal satisfaction. In addition, Old Tappan has an outstanding fire department, whose many volunteered hours help protect the residents. It was first organized in 1932. At that time, its equipment consisted of booms, Indian tanks, and hand extinguishers. Fire gongs and hammers were placed at various locations to sound the calls. Since then, many changes have occurred. With the community's growth, safety demands increased, and therefore, the current fire department evolved. Building of the firehouse commenced in 1938, to which additions have been made to properly house the fire equipment. Working in precise cooperation, the police and fire departments and the First Aid Corps provide preventive, protective service, as well as effective emergency aid.
Another great benefit to the community is the dedicated service of so many of our residents. Our borough clerk, Frank Rechtenwall, our police chief, John Kramer, our superintendent of public works, Harry Lake, as well as the many dedicated volunteers who serve in the fire department, the First Aid Corps, the public library, the numerous boards and commissions in town are what make Old Tappan what it is today, truly one of the best communities in Bergen County. Many others have served Old Tappan well in the past with their time and their talents, such as Joseph Mazzo, who was one of the founders of the First Aid Corps, and Charles Herbst, a member and chairman of the planning board for almost 25 years. One citizen whose work has enriched the entire community is Barbara Moja. After coming to Old Tappan in 1914, she became a catalyst in the formation and creation of many of our civic organizations. Mrs. Moja has served on the Borough Council and is still active today as chairlady of our Sites Committee.
As Barbara Moser contributed her time towards the development of Old Tappan's organizations, so too did many other individuals. And from their combined efforts, the children and adults of Old Tappan today have much to be thankful for. Young girls are able to benefit from the Brownie and Girl Scout troops due to the volunteered time of their leaders. The Boy Scouts also find reward by being offered great opportunities to experience the outdoor world. The 4-H, which began teaching girls to cook and sew, has felt the pressures of our times and has become primarily an equestrian organization. Among the volunteer organizations found in Old Tappan is the active Lions Club. They are involved in raising funds for local scholarships and in aiding the underprivileged. Besides raising money for scholarships, raising funds for the Ambulance Corps' new Resuscitator Annie, and fulfilling other social services, the Women's Club of Old Tappan has recently instituted a Helping Hand program, the last remnant of a past era. And it is here that students experience the occupation that is vanishing from the area. One type of farm in Old Tappan that is on the rise, however, is the horse farm. As an example, we visited the Benardellas at Rose Hill Farm. Atmosphere that is sustained through controlled development. Tucked behind the beaten track, it becomes a beautiful place to retreat after a full day's work. Many of its citizens commute daily to New York City, and as a part of this great metropolitan area, possess sophisticated tastes. These desires are fulfilled with modern conveniences available within this rural setting. Old Tappan residents have much to be proud of, for it remains a unique community through the concerned efforts of its citizens.